Hey, Blondie, since you're not doing anything, go fetch us some drinks. The laughter exploded like a slap in the grand ballroom. All eyes shifted to the young woman in a simple black dress, clutching her phone, her cheeks flushing red. The billionaire family in glittering gowns and tuxedos sneered at her as though she were an uninvited guest. Before we move further into this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. Let's dive in. The leader of the group, a wealthy matriarch dripping in diamonds, pointed at her with cruel delight. Honestly, you'd think a girl like that would know her place. Look at her, she doesn't belong in a room like this. The crowd chuckled. The daughter stiffened, swallowing hard. She had been raised with humility, never flaunting her status, never parading the fact that her father was the CEO of one of the most powerful corporations in the world. To them, she looked ordinary, and to this family, ordinary meant disposable. But they had no idea who they had just mocked. The daughter's phone buzzed. She answered with a steady voice that betrayed none of her humiliation. "Dad," she said, her tone sharp now, "cancel the contract with the Harrow family, effective immediately." Every conversation in the ballroom screeched to a halt. The billionaires froze mid-laughter, their smirks collapsing into confusion. The matriarch's diamond-ringed hand dropped slowly, her face paling. "Excuse me," she stammered, her voice cracking. The daughter turned, locking eyes with the family who had just ridiculed her. "You just mocked the wrong woman. I'm Elizabeth Carter, CEO Carter's daughter." A ripple of gasps swept the room like a shockwave. The Harrow family's smug expressions shattered into horror. But let's rewind. Elizabeth had grown up in immense privilege, but her father always taught her something the Harrows never understood. Respect is worth more than wealth. She volunteered in shelters, studied hard, and built a reputation of kindness everywhere she went. She wore simple dresses instead of designer gowns, preferred honesty over arrogance, and never boasted about her family's empire. That humility is what made her father trust her with inside knowledge of his biggest deals. And tonight, the Harrows were celebrating the signing of a $900 million contract with Carter Enterprises, a deal that would triple their fortune overnight. They thought they were untouchable, until they mocked the one person who held their future in her hands. "Wait, Elizabeth," the patriarch of the Harrow family blurted, stumbling forward, his wine glass nearly spilling. His smile returned, desperate and hollow. "We didn't mean anything by it. Just a joke, sweetheart, just a little joke." Elizabeth's eyes hardened. A joke at the expense of respect. A joke that exposes what you really think of people you see as beneath you. "My father doesn't sign contracts with cowards who hide cruelty behind champagne toasts." Her words sliced through the air sharper than any blade. The room, filled with the elite of the elite, fell into a stunned silence. The matriarch reached out, trembling now. "Elizabeth, darling, we love your family. We've always admired your father, surely one misunderstanding." But Elizabeth raised her hand. "Save it. The contract is dead. Effective tonight." By morning, the news was everywhere. $900 million contract collapses overnight, screamed the headlines. Analysts dissected the disaster on financial networks, calling it one of the greatest corporate blunders in recent history. The Harrow family's empire crumbled instantly. Their stock plummeted. Partners withdrew support. Investors fled. The very arrogance that once carried them now weighed them down like an anchor. Meanwhile, Elizabeth's father stood before cameras, unwavering. "Respect is non-negotiable," he declared. "We don't do business with people who belittle others. My daughter taught me that last night, and I couldn't be prouder." Back at the Carter estate, Elizabeth sat quietly, sipping coffee, still wearing that same simple dress. Her father entered the room and kissed her forehead. "You did exactly what I hoped you'd do," he said with pride. "You showed them what true strength looks like." Elizabeth smiled softly. "Dad, I didn't cancel the deal because they insulted me. I canceled it because they showed who they really are. If they treat me that way in public, imagine how they treat their employees behind closed doors." Her father nodded, eyes glistening. "And that's why you'll lead this company one day, not because of your last name, but because you understand what truly matters." Weeks later, Elizabeth walked into another gala. This time she wasn't ignored. She wasn't underestimated. The same elites who once dismissed her now stood when she entered, offering handshakes and hushed admiration. Not because of her father's empire, but because she had shown the entire world that character outweighs contracts. She paused, looking at the glittering chandeliers above, remembering the night she'd been humiliated. And with a quiet smile, she thought, respect is the only currency that never loses value. The Harrow family. They faded into obscurity, a cautionary tale whispered in boardrooms and written in business textbooks. A reminder that arrogance ruins faster than bankruptcy. And Elizabeth? She rose higher than anyone could have imagined, because she proved one timeless truth. You can inherit wealth, but you cannot inherit honor. Honor must be earned. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comments.